Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news at 6 on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Senior leaders campaign in Gujarat. Party President Amit Shah and Arun Jaitley address rallies for the BJP. Opposition Congress fields former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who talks about the ill effects of demonetization and GST in meetings with traders. Election Commission team in Gujarat to review preparations for elections meets with district election officers to take stock of polling staff, electronic voting machines and other poll-related logistical issues. US Senate approves sweeping tax overhaul, moves closer to President Donald Trump's goal of slashing taxes for businesses and the rich, offers ordinary Americans a mixed bag of changes. And in cricket, on the first day of the third test against Sri Lanka, Indian skipper Virat Kohli enters the 5,000-run club after hitting his 20th century. His 156 not out helps India reach 371 for the loss of 4 wickets. Well, let's begin the bulletin with news from poll-bound state Gujarat. Campaigning for the BJP in Gujarat, Party President Amit Shah was in Somnath on Saturday. He offered prayers at the Somnath temple, where he is also a trustee member. The visit comes a day after the BJP registered an emphatic win in the UP civic polls and a week before the first phase of the crucial assembly election in his home state. Finance Minister was also in the poll-bound state on Saturday. Speaking to media persons in Surat, Arun Jaitley stressed the importance of Gujarat for BJP and reiterated that the party has been winning and serving the state since the past 2 decades. He added that the BJP took the state on the path to development while taking a jibe at the controversy surrounding Rahul Gandhi's religion.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को तो हमेशा हिंदुत्व समर्थक दल माना गया। अगर दूसरे हमारी नकल करते हैं तो मुझे क्या शिकायत हो सकती है, लेकिन राजनीति का एक सिद्धांत है, there is a basic principle, when the original is available, why should people prefer a clone?
The Congress party too campaigned in the state, with some of its top leaders holding meetings and talking to people. Former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and former Chief Minister of Delhi Sheila Dikshit campaigned for the party in the state.
With 1 week to go for the first phase of polls in Gujarat, the opposition Congress has intensified its campaign, with senior leaders descending on the state. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was at the Gujarat Chamber of Commerce in Surat, where he met traders. Speaking to them, he talked about the ill effects of demonetization and GST.
Apart from the problem of multiple rates, there are loopholes in the administrative arrangements for the implementation of GST. In particular, small businesses, traders and exporters have serious concerns which need to be addressed. Small scale and middle scale businesses, their problems require serious attention.
Delhi's former Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit was also in Ahmedabad to campaign for the party. Defending her party, she said that the Congress does not give importance to trivial issues.
कांग्रेस पार्टी अगर जो कभी भी चुनाव कहीं पर भी लड़ती है तो विकास के नाम पर ही लड़ती है और जीतती भी विकास के नाम पर है। हमने कभी ना तो धर्म को, ना जाति को, ना बिरादरी को कभी मुद्दा नहीं बताया। हाँ, ये हम जरूर चाहते हैं कि सब बिरादरी के, सब जाति के लोग रिप्रेजेंट हो सके, जहाँ तक हो सकता है। कोई ऐसा ना हो कि रिप्रेजेंट नहीं हुआ, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है।
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, who has been campaigning relentlessly in Gujarat, took to Twitter on Saturday to question Prime Minister Narendra Modi over the low government spending on education in the BJP-ruled state. This was the fourth in Gandhi's series of questions to the Prime Minister. He accused the Prime Minister of commercializing education at the cost of government schools and institutions. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, joining me for a chat right now is our correspondent Pankaj Misra from Rajkot in Gujarat. Pankaj Misra, clearly the campaigning has heated up in the state of Gujarat, and give us a sense of the mood really on the ground there.
Yeah, Frank, absolutely right. The campaigning from the both sides, either the Congress or BJP, and also the Hardik Patel camp is very intense these days. We are at the heartland of Patel community, Patel-based votes in the Rajkot. We are at Rajkot now, and we are roaming here since morning. What sense we are getting here that the Patel voters are now looking crucial, but there is a divide also because somehow they are looking confused to either support to Hardik Patel-led Congress party or go to their traditional leaders like BJP. But certainly the big factor here is that the farmers are waiting for accurate prices of their crops, and somehow they are now looking some satisfactory due to the coming of the water of Narmada river water. And so the sense we are getting is that the farmers, there is a discontent in farmers, but also the BJP is looking to manage it as the poll is coming closer. So it will be very interesting to see how this region, Rajkot region and the entire Saurashtra region is going to vote, because the region is very crucial. More than 50 seats are coming from here, and BJP also tapping this area because BJP gave more than 50 tickets to the Patel also. So it will be very interesting to see how this region votes, and we are still roaming here in this region more the times, and we'll let you updated on it.
Sure. We'll keep getting those updates from you. But, you've been in Gujarat for a few days now. You traversed the length and breadth of the state. What are the issues that, are dominating the discourse in the state as of now?
The first and foremost issue is a farmers' issue. We traveled many villages beginning from Ahmedabad to Kutch region and then to Saurashtra also. The issue of farmers and the price of cotton is a big issue here. Every farmer we are talking that he's complaining that the price of cotton is not adequate, and government should look into that. But in case of like cumin, the jeera, the very popular crop here, or like the groundnut, they are looking satisfied. And also in the case of water, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated the Sardar Sarovar Dam much before election, 2-3 months before. The effect of this water is looking very positive in this entire area. That's why I was saying that the BJP is trying to tap the discontent, and now as the poll is coming closer, there may be some change of mind also. And the Patidar factor is very crucial in this entire Saurashtra region. But just like I said, that there is looking at a critical divide in this Patidar community also. So it will be very crucial to see in this election that how this community, the traditional voters of BJP is going to vote along with the Hardik Patel.
All right, Pankaj Misra, we'll have to leave to that. Thank you so much for joining us there with all those details. Well, staying on with news from Gujarat now, with the first phase of elections just a week away, a team of the Election Commission arrived in Gujarat on Saturday to review preparations. Over the next 2 days, the panel comprising of the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commissioners will take stock of the preparations in the poll-bound state. On Saturday, the team met with the police to review the law and order situation. It also took stock of the polling staff, electronic voting machines and voter verifiable paper audit trail system, election material and other poll-related logistical issues during a meeting with district election officers. Now, on Saturday, the Commission will hold a meeting with nodal officers, the Chief Secretary and other senior bureaucrats to review polling personnel management and deployment of police and paramilitary forces during polls. The first phase of polling is slated for December 9th and the second on December 14th. Well, shifting focus to other big news now, Cyclone Oki, which claimed 16 lives in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, has now moved beyond Lakshwadeep, the weather department has confirmed. Now, however, many fishermen are still missing and warships have been deployed to comb the southeastern coast for fishing boats missing in rough seas. Here are more details.
Cyclone Oki has left a trail of destruction in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Lakshadweep. Several houses have been damaged, trees uprooted and communication lines disrupted in Lakshadweep as rains accompanied by strong winds lashed the islands. The very severe cyclonic storm Oki is likely to intensify further in the next 24 hours. It's likely to continue to move west-northwestwards across the Lakshadweep Islands and then recurve northeastwards. The death toll in Kerala and Tamil Nadu has crossed 15. Efforts are still underway to rescue fishermen still stranded on sea, while over 500 have been brought back ashore to safety. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has announced 10 lakh rupees compensation in addition to the financial assistance of 4 lakh rupees being given by the Fisheries Department. Assistance will also be provided to those who had lost their boat and equipment. Meanwhile, a fresh spell of heavy rains is in store in some areas of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Puducherry, with a low-pressure area forming over South Andaman Sea. The low-pressure area could become a depression over the Bay of Bengal. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, India was re-elected to the Council of International Maritime Organization on Friday. India secured 144 votes from member countries just after Germany's 146 and ahead of Australia's 143 votes. India's re-election was under Category B, which represents developing nations with the largest interests in international seaborne trade. The IMO is a United Nations specialized agency entitled with the responsibility for safety and security of shipping and the prevention of marine pollution by ships. Well, here's a look now at some other national news in Nationwide. A newborn baby declared dead by Max Hospital in Delhi was found to be alive when the family was on its way to his funeral. The devastated parents said that they noticed one of the babies squirming inside the plastic bag in which the doctors placed the infants. Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Kumar Jain on Saturday said if the Max Hospital continued with such negligence, the state government will cancel their license. Former Bihar Chief Minister Rabdi Devi on Saturday appeared before the Enforcement Directorate in connection with the Railway Hotels contract scam. Rabdi Devi went to the ED zonal office where a special team of the agency from Delhi is expected to record her statement under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Rabdi Devi had earlier skipped the ED's summons at least 6 times. The Shiv Sena said on Saturday that Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis should withdraw his irresponsible statement lauding the contribution of outsiders to Mumbai. Fadnavis praised the contributions of North Indians and people from other states in the development of Mumbai. The Chief Minister said that the country's financial capital has always given shelter to many and those who live there have added to the city's prestige. Well, it's time for a short break now, but on the other side, international and sports news.
Hi, I am Dr. Mabali Rajan. I am a senior scientist in Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology that is coming under CSIR. We are going to discuss my lab, who is doing a fantastic work in asthma COPD, lung cancer, and many other diseases. Keep watching Eureka.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed satisfaction over the recently concluded Global Entrepreneurship Summit that was co-hosted by the two countries. The US President spoke to the Prime Minister over the phone on Friday. President Trump's senior advisor and daughter Ivanka Trump had led the US delegation. This year's summit focused on supporting women entrepreneurs and fostering economic growth globally. This was the first time the global event was being held in South Asia. Well, the US Senate has approved a sweeping tax overhaul, moving a step closer to President Donald Trump's goal of slashing taxes for businesses and the rich while offering everyday Americans a mixed bag of changes. After a marathon session that stretched overnight, the chamber voted 51 to 49 in favor of the nation's largest tax overhaul in 31 years. Republicans want to add $1.4 trillion over 10 years to the $20 trillion national debt in order to finance changes that they hope will further boost an already growing economy. Democrats slammed the measure as a giveaway to businesses and the rich, all financed with billions in taxpayer debt. Talks will begin between the Senate and the House of Representatives, which has already approved its own tax bill. The two chambers must craft a single bill to send to Trump to sign into law.
Tonight, the Republicans provide $1 billion in tax breaks to the wealthiest people in this country and to the largest corporation, while raising the deficit by over $1.4 trillion. Part two of their plan, probably coming in a few months, will be to call for massive cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid in order to pay for their tax breaks to the rich.
Historians will mark today as one of the darkest black-letter days in the long history of this Senate.
Well, now an update on Donald Trump's Russia probe. Former Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn on Friday pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about conversations with Russian ambassador weeks before Donald Trump became president. Flynn is the most senior member of the administration to be indicted. The charges were brought by Special Counsel Robert Mueller as part of his inquiry into alleged Russian meddling in the 2016 US election. Flynn said he was cooperating with the Special Counsel's office. Flynn was forced to resign 23 days into his job in February after he was questioned by the FBI for leading the White House about meeting then Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak before Trump took office. Experts say the senior official now under the spotlight is Jared Kushner, Trump's advisor and son-in-law. Meanwhile, the White House said that the guilty plea or the charge implicates no one other than Flynn.
Listen, I think we have got more work to do, and we're going to take as long as it takes to get all of the facts. You know, we've got a number of major figures like Donald Trump Jr., and I want to bring back Jared Kushner, particularly in light of some of the supposed comments that General Flynn may have been making.
This is an important moment for the Mueller investigation. It certainly demonstrates how methodical this investigation has been to date, how professional it has been to date. There really was not too much leaking about this, and how unlikely that it is to lead to, this does not seem at all to be the end of the investigation. If anything, one would expect that we are going to now see perhaps other dominoes will now fall.
Well, shifting focus to some sports news now, and at the World Cup draw that took place at the State Kremlin Palace in Moscow on Friday, all 32 qualified teams for the tournament discovered who they would face in the group stage. Spain's clash against Portugal is one of the most exciting encounters to look forward to. Hosts Russia will kick off next year's World Cup finals versus Saudi Arabia in Moscow. And defending champions Germany will start against Mexico after Friday's draw threw up some mouth-watering clashes. 5 times winners Brazil will face Switzerland in their first Group E match, with Costa Rica and Serbia making up one of the tougher-looking of the 8 groups. European champions Portugal will play Iberian neighbours Spain in their first match in Group B, while Argentina were placed in Group D with newcomers Iceland, Croatia and Nigeria. England will face the other debut nation, Panama, in Group G, in which Belgium are the top seeds. Unlike previous laborious draw ceremonies, Friday's event at the State Kremlin Palace was a quick-fire operation.
I would like to wish success to all the competing teams, and I call upon all loyal fans to come here to Russia to enjoy the finals of 2018.
And the world coming to Russia next year, 1.5 million people from all over the world, they will find that Russia is a welcoming country, that Russia is a warm country, that you can celebrate football in this country with the Russian people who are waiting just for that.
After speeches by Russian President Vladimir Putin and FIFA chief Gianni Infantino, the business of drawing the 32 balls from the 4 pots began with 8 World Cup greats, including Argentina's Diego Maradona and France's 1998 captain Laurent Blanc, assisting in the process. The month-long tournament, taking place across 11 host cities from Kaliningrad in the west to Ekaterinburg, 2,500 kilometers away in the east, begins on June 14. It will involve 64 matches in total, with the final taking place in Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium on July 15th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Well, some cricket now. India were 371 for 4 at stumps on the opening day of the 3rd Test against Sri Lanka. Murali Vijay and skipper Virat Kohli scored centuries. Vijay scored 155 runs while Kohli made an unbeaten 156. This was Kohli's 8th 150-plus score in Tests and became the first ever international captain to hit 3 consecutive hundreds in the Test format. Rohit Sharma was at the crease with the skipper on 6 runs. Lakshan Sandakan picked up 2 wickets as he got Murali Vijay and Ajinkya Rahane, while Dilruwan Pereira and Lahiru Gamage picked 1 wicket apiece.
And also his quickest. Well played, Virat Kohli. Fantastic player. Leading India. Acknowledging the crowd.
Well, some other sports news now. India drew with world champions Australia 1-1 in a Pool B fixture of the Hockey World League final tournament in Bhubaneswar. Mandeep Singh scored the opener to give India the lead in the 20th minute, but Jeremy Hayward successfully converted a penalty corner in the 21st minute to pull Australia through. India got 2 back-to-back penalty corners in the second half but failed to convert them. In another Pool B game earlier, Germany defeated England 2-0.
And it's a goal. Chicked is missed it with his left. Well, you know, that's something that you got to understand. You know, you got to be sure. Even if you offset, you must be able to show that you can play that, hold on to your angles. This pass play, Chicked has very well come on. Points for India here.
Well, Ben Stokes has said that he is hoping to do well on his return to competitive cricket with New Zealand's provincial side Canterbury. Stokes was omitted from the England touring team to Australia and was suspended because of a police investigation into an incident case. Canterbury Cricket Association signed Stokes this week. Well, that's it on this newscast, but do stay tuned for our special report on the Gujarat elections coming up on the other side of this short break.